Hello, everybody. What's going on? If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to my YouTube. We are about to get into it. If you can hear me, just put yes in the comments. I believe I am live in two places, which is LinkedIn and YouTube. And probably after this week, it's probably going to be just going forward, just strictly on YouTube. So, hey, everybody, what's going on? Hopefully, y'all can hear me. I got the chat pulled up on my phone, and I can also see the comments here on my dashboard. All right. So, hey, what's up? Hey. All right. So, I debated on whether or not I wanted to um, have this conversation because it's kind of secret. Okay, it's kind of secret. And the reason I wanted to have this conversation is because oftentimes people get to learn about things after they happen, right? Like, oh, after it happened. But I thought it'd be cool to come on here and share with you all what we're working on so you can kind of get a feel for how I think through marketing and so on and so forth. If that's cool, put cool in the chat. All right. Also, if you know anybody who should be here, make sure you invite them to this live stream and let them know to pull up. Okay. So I'm going to introduce myself if you don't know who I am. My name is Audria Richmond, and I am a marketing and launch strategist. I work directly with my clients to teach them how to build uncloned brands and launch profitable marketing campaigns. We are the brand that you come to when you want to become or remain the obvious choice of your industry. All right. So today we're going to be talking about how I plan to scale my marketing. Okay. Now, how many of you all have noticed that your girl been like in cruise mode? Just put me in the chat if you noticed that, right? Just put me in the chat if you notice that your girl has been in cruise mode, okay? And it's a reason for it. I'm gonna tell you the reason for it. I'm gonna just be the first part of this is gonna be me telling you how I came to the conclusion of this strategy. That way you won't think that like this strategy just popped up just because. Like I literally had some things going on, and that was one of the reasons why I decided to take a break. Now, y'all version of a break is probably totally different than my version of a break. So like my version of a break is I'm not doing any like crazy launches. I'm not going live every single day like I normally do. Like I'm really like in chill mode. And so the reason for that is because I wanted to make sure that I took a break to really think. And if you all haven't taken a break to think, then I highly recommend that you start taking time to think. And sometimes, and it really depends too on the stage of life you in. Sometimes your life can be so chaotic and so impact that you don't really even get to sit down and really think through what it is that you want, right? And I know for me, the only reason that I was able to think through what I want or to process or even think about what it is that I wanted to do was because my business has recurring revenue. If my business didn't have recurring revenue, I wouldn't be able to just take a break or to take time to process. And a lot of that has to do with your business model, right? So anyway, um, I really want to like pull the curtain back and let you know what's going on, right? So before we do that, I'm gonna take a sip of water that my husband prepared for me. And then we're gonna get into it. Y'all know me, I don't like to waste time. Uh okay. I love the conversation that's being had on this journey. Oh, thank you. So you've been speaking to me today. That was the season for me. Yes. Okay, cool. So we in the right place. I'm talking to the right people. Cool beans. Okay, so I have some notes. Okay. I got a lot of notes. Hopefully, y'all know how it gets. I get lit, I get turned up, and next thing you know, we start talking about something else. And so hopefully we can stick to the conversation at hand. Okay. All right. Y'all know how I get. I get turned up. I be like, yeah, let's go. But anyway, so in 2020, and I know if you've been a part of my community, you probably heard me tell this story, but I'm gonna tell a little bit different today. So in 2020, I published a book called UnCloned Marketing: How to Challenge the Norms of Profitable Marketing Campaigns. And this book changed the game for my entire business, right? I would like to say this is the book that put my business on the map. This was the book that made people take me seriously. This is the book that made people say, "Oh, this girl must actually know her marketing thing," right? Like she on her big one, right? This is the book that allowed me to get featured in Forbes. This is the book where we was able to do a 200,000 plus book launch. This is the launch. You get what I'm saying? Like this, the book that really, really, really changed the game. And let me just say this: as a business owner, you're gonna have a time in your business where something you do is so magnificent that it's going to change the game for your entire business. And for me, at the moment, that was my book, right? Uncloned Marketing. And if you have not got the book yet, what are you waiting on? Okay. Head over to unclonedbb, okay.com and get the books. Like, what are you waiting on? Go to unclonedbb.com and get the books if you hadn't got the books. But anyway, so I published the book in 2020 and my business reached capacity, meaning I couldn't take on more clients. It don't matter what way I spent it. I couldn't take on more mastermind clients. I couldn't take on more VIP day clients. I couldn't take on more one-on-one clients. I literally could not take on more clients. Now, some of you may have experienced this before, and some of you may not have experienced this before. But let me tell you this: when you have that happen, it is such a game changer in a good way. But for me, I kind of plateaued. Like I literally like couldn't go any further. And so I had to take a break in 2021 to kind of restructure my business. And this is when I decided that I wanted to hire. This is where the story changed. Okay. This is where I decided, like, oh, I'm going to go hire. I need a huge team. We need a lot of coaches. And so the first thing I did was I started hiring marketing managers. That didn't go to plan. Then that didn't go to plan because honestly, I didn't even really know how to manage people. I was so used to being a solopreneur that when it was time to bring people in to help me, I was literally paying people to watch me on Zoom. Like literally, I didn't even like know how to tell them what to do. So then I read a book called Traction, and then that gave me some guidance on how to structure and like, hire and things like that. Then I started reading more leadership type books, and I began to just try to hire. So for 2021, we started hiring. That didn't go to plan. Then I stopped hiring people for the company, and I started hiring agencies. This is when we hired a content agency, we hired a copywriting agency, we hired an ads agency. We hired a lot of different agencies, and the beauty in working with agencies is that yes, they are expensive. However, they know how to do their damn job. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be on them like a hawk to do their job, right? So I went through a phase of that. Then I said, okay, I've worked with an agency. I kind of have a vibe for what I desire. I work with, some other people in the past. At this point I'm working with contractors, and I'm just like, okay, what happens if I kind of scale this up? And now this was like late, because we did UnCloned Launch Live in 2023. So late 2022, coming into 2023, I decided to hire 15 people. Okay. Are y'all following? Just put yes in the chat. Is this helpful? Because I'm trying to get you to how I got to my current decision and the plan and strategy that we're working on, right? So going into late 2022, coming into 2023, I decided to hire like 15, 16 people, right? Some people didn't make it past the first 90 days, right? Then I was down to a couple of coaches, a couple of customer service reps, and so on and so forth, right? And so over time, I was starting to develop expectations around what it is that I want and what I didn't want. And I wanted to make sure that like I'm crystal clear about what I want. And so some people were doing what I was asking them to do, and some people just didn't meet the standards of our brand. And so we ended up releasing quite a few people, and then that kind of left us down to one team member, which is Coach Dio at the time of this recording. And so at the time of this live stream, right? Because I am live, just FYI. So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, Audria, you need to kind of rethink, do you need coaches? Because at the time when I was doing all this hiring, I was in a mastermind, and it was really big on like, you need to hire, you need to employ more people. As a Black enterprise, you need to like grow and grow and grow and hire and get more people. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out for me, right? It just didn't work out for me. And if you're not careful, when something is not for you, you will try to force it. Do y'all know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to force having this huge coaching team, having these huge coaching programs when I don't even coach like that, or I don't like to coach like that. And so I found myself chasing something that wasn't in alignment with me. And I was also chasing something that was a distraction from my original goal. My original goal when I came online in 2013 was to create a business that had leverage. I wanted to sell courses. I wanted to sell one-to-many things. And so over time, I started getting into coaching more, because as people would see me do things and be like, hey, can you coach me on how to do that? Can you teach me how to do that? And that's kind of how I ended up with a mastermind and so on and so forth. Does this make sense? Just put yes in the chat. All right. Okay. So coming out of we did our event last year, UnCloned Launch Live. That was in August. Shortly after that, quite a few team members were removed, and some we were just like, hey, we need to take a break. We need to kind of rethink everything, and we released people, right? And so that left us with one person. And this was a great opportunity for me to kind of take a break and rethink, what the hell do I want, right? So from August to now, we did quite a few things from then to now, right? So the first thing we did was we decided that we were going to restructure our programs. So we removed any one-on-one component that was a part of our programs. We ended up, after we removed any one-on-one component of our programs, We reorganized and restructured our mastermind so we can be in a group setting, because the truth of the matter is our mastermind wasn't very big to begin with. So it wasn't no need for all of this one-on-one when pretty much everybody is pretty much asking the same question. So we restructured our mastermind. Another thing that we did was we launched the Launch Circle in late 2022, coming into 2023. And so that was a game changer because I was able to teach this, these high level launching skills to a group of people at one time. So that gave us a great one to many strategy, right? So then after that, we got the Launch Circle is doing what it's doing. We have the mastermind is doing what it's doing. But then we still had another issue, right? So in the mastermind, they were getting a ton of calls. And so at the time of this, me doing this live stream, we currently have about 11 or 12 mastermind members. So there was no need for us to have 2 and 3 calls every single week when only 2 or 3 people are showing up. Does that make sense, everybody? So it was kind of like we were, because the mastermind paid a significant amount more, we felt like, oh, we need to give them like all of these calls. And when I had a former coach at the time, I let her talk me into doing more calls with the mastermind when I knew they didn't need more calls. And so I was just like, you know what, Audria, get back focused, remove all these damn calls. It's unnecessary. And so when I would ask my clients, like, hey, which calls do y'all like? Which calls you don't like? And also I was paying attention to what calls are they actually showing up for and what calls are they not showing up for, right? And so we went back and restructured the entire mastermind, and we narrowed it down to a few calls. We combined some calls that was maybe 2 or 3 calls, and we would combine it into one call, because it was like, for instance, we would have like an offers call, a launch call, and a publishing call. There's no need to have 3 of those calls. So we combine it together. So like tonight, we're doing the offers, launching, and publishing call. And we talk about all of that in that one call. We did our CEO call on Monday. And then yesterday we did the Launch Circle. So like that was the first thing we did with the mastermind. We kind of restructured the mastermind and condensed it down so it wouldn't be so many calls. And then this last move, which I would like to say was a boss move, we took all the calls that we were doing. The way we had our calendar structure at first was we would do like 2 or 3 calls week 1 in a month. Week 2, we would do like 2 calls. Week 3, we would do like 2 or 3 calls. And then week 4, we would do like 2 calls. We took all of those calls, instead of doing them weekly, we created a new thing called Coach Week. So let me see if I can show y'all the flyer for it. If it's not on here, it doesn't matter, right? I'm just trying to see if I can show y'all what it is. So we incorporated this thing called Coach Week. And essentially what Coach Week was, we would take all the calls that we do with a client and do them consecutively in 1 week. Okay? Is everybody following? Just put yes or no in the chat. All right? I want to make sure y'all following along. That's my form of I love to see you all engaging. That lets me know that you all are tapped in all the things. So if you're multitasking, come back to me and let me know in the chat if y'all following what I'm saying. All right? Okay, cool. So we ended up doing Coach Week, and this changed the game for our business because we went from having these sporadic calls on the calendar to having all the calls that is delivered and per people's contract, right? Because we still have to be contractual with our obligations. And so instead of having 2 calls on week 1, 3 calls on week 3, so on and so forth, we took all the calls and we combined it into 1 week. So now we have UnCloned Coach Week every single month, and every type of call where clients pay us money, they all happen during Coach Week. So guess what? When we recently launched our UnCloned certification program, guess when their coaching calls is? During Coach Week. So I got 3 programs where there are people having 3 different experiences, and we're all coaching every single client in any paid program in 1 week with this one big weekly, monthly event that we do in a week called UnCloned Coach Week. So on Mondays, it's typically CEO calls for our mastermind. On Tuesdays, it's typically a Launch Circle call. On Wednesdays is our offers, lunch, and publishing call with our mastermind. And then on Fridays is our certification calls. So we took all of these calls that we were doing like sporadically all over the place, and we combined it into 1 week for the entire month to service all of our coaching clients. Did y'all just not hear what I just said? When I tell you it changed the game for our business, it changed the game. So now we went from having, oh, I'm looking at my calendar every month like, man, when we going to have time to launch, to, oh, we only got to dedicate 1 week to coaching, and we freed up 3 extra weeks. And then obviously if a month has 5 weeks, we freed up an extra 3 to 4 weeks every single month. So that changed the game. That gave us more autonomy to be able to market more frequently. So anyway, so those were the changes that we made, right? Now, I'm reading for this just so y'all can, follow along and see what I'm talking about, right? So the next thing was, I learned, when I say, how can I say this? I was trying to scale my business with team. Okay. I was trying to scale my business with team. And through that experience, it didn't work for me. I can't speak for everybody else, because some people, they don't know how to do a lot of things, and so they need a lot of people. For us, inside of our organization, I actually know how to do a lot of stuff. Not saying as a CEO, I should be doing all of these things, but we have a very highly leverageable business, right? And so with that being said, I thought the only way to scale my business was with people. So guess what I did for 3 years? 3 years, I went on a hiring spree, on and off hiring spree, hiring agencies, hiring contractors, attempted to hire employees. I tried it all. I did it for 3 whole years. And I concluded with a few things. Number one, it felt like a waste of time. And I just said it felt like, because in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm gonna hire these coaches. They're gonna be world class. They're gonna be able to do this and this and this. We're gonna be able to do VIP days all over the world. Like, I had this huge vision. And I'm not saying that my vision can't be what it is, but I had to reimagine what my business is going to look like considering the current job market. Let's be honest. If you are CEO of an organization and you employ people and you're hiring people, it has not been the best experience for me. Okay, I can't speak for everybody else, but also according to a lot of the recruiters and HR people, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos of HR people, because at one point I was like, damn, is it me? Do I not actually know how to hire? Do I not know how to set expectations? Like at some point I was starting to take it on. And then when I was looking at the job market is actually trash. So I was able to kind of take that stress off of me and be like, okay, bet, like, I'm not finna internalize this. I'm not finna make this mine, so on and so forth, right? And so I'm not gonna say it was a complete waste, because I did learn a lot. A few things that I learned was, one, I learned how to hire. So if nothing came out of this experience, I know exactly how to hire now. I know how to test people. I know how to qualify people. I know how to get rid of people. I know how to test people when it comes to like quizzes and projects and stuff like that. I know how to be crystal clear around my expectations. So that I learned, and that skill is, invaluable, right? The next one is I learned how to manage a team. You know, when I first tried to hire initially, I didn't know how to manage a team. And so that time when I hired like 15 plus people, I learned how to manage people real, real fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I learned how to put people in separate teams. I learned how to look at different teams, set expectations and goals for each team. So I was able to learn how to manage teams. So that was a huge win. The next thing, we talked about how I needed to change my business model, right? And then after 3 years of trying to hire and really get my business to grow with people, I made an executive decision this year, really late 2023, coming into 2024, that I want to scale my business with media and automation. That's what I concluded with. I would love to scale my business with media and automation. Is everybody following? Because now we're finna get into the meat and potatoes of this live stream. Just put, oh yeah, in the chat If you all are still tapped in, if you're following along, make sure you share this live stream out with some people who could benefit from this. Because if you are a solopreneur or a business owner and you're not actively marketing your business like you need to, you're definitely going to benefit from this live stream, because a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is highly leverageable, but it's highly technical. That's why I said I'm going to be scaling my business with automation, okay? Automation and media. So when I say media, we're about to scale up our content. So what do I mean by that? One of the things you notice is I did a we started doing an audio newsletter every single Monday. Did y'all know that? Put a yes or no in the chat. And if you haven't, I don't know what you've been doing. You should have been tapped in. You know what I'm saying? You should have been tapped in. Like every single Monday, right? Every single Monday we do an audio newsletter, and it's fire, it's quick. I try to keep them to like 20, 30 minutes or less, on average of between 5 to 10, 15 minutes. But for the most part, it's straight fire. I don't do a lot of fluff in these audio newsletters. I get in and I get out. And so if you haven't tapped in, you can head over to unclonedinsider.com. That's unclonedinsider.com and get on the email list so you can be notified every single Monday when we release these audio newsletters. Okay. So that's a strategy that we decided to do starting in the beginning of the year. It was like, okay, every single Monday, we are going to send out an audio newsletter. So bet. Now, here we are, June 5th, right? Which I want to say is the first Wednesday of this month. Yes, it's the first Wednesday of this month. One of the things that we said that we were going to do starting in May is start growing our YouTube channel, right? Because let me tell you why we decided to focus on YouTube. We decided to focus on YouTube because YouTube allows us to be picked up by the algorithm pretty quickly by new people. My titles can be keyword driven, and I can get found and discovered by new people every single day, right? And so I'm excited about that because I'm able to reach a couple people who may not be friends with me on Facebook, who may not be following me on Instagram, who may not get to see my Facebook ads, so on and so forth. Because people who are on YouTube, let me just give y'all a little fast, hard fact real quick, right? People on YouTube actually love to learn. I was like, why the hell did I not prioritize YouTube, Audria? Duh. So people on YouTube actually come to YouTube to learn. So if you want to learn how to fix something, make something, create something, or be a part of a conversation, 9 times out of 10, you're going to come to YouTube to learn how to do something. If you're trying to learn how to use a piece of technology, a tool, anything, you're pretty much going to come to YouTube. So I'm like, we got to have real estate on YouTube. And so we decided in May 2024 to be consistent with either pre-uploading a video or going live every Wednesday. Guess what today is? Wednesday. Here I am. All right. Here I am. And so I'm pretty excited with the results. Y'all want to see the results? Like the results has been through the roof, y'all. Like, let me see if I can pull up my YouTube back end and show y'all. Y'all want to see? Y'all want to see what we got cooking? I ain't gonna show y'all if y'all don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't want to see, I ain't even gonna waste y'all time like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll just go on and, move on with my life. So let me show y'all what we got cooking. All right. So let me share my screen real quick. Okay, so share screen. Okay, boom. Can y'all see my screen? Okay, so this is the growth on my YouTube channel since I started being consistent. So in the last 28 days, we have grown by 285 people. Okay. 285 people. Okay. Change the game. And remember when I said, hey, y'all remember when I did that video on YouTube, not YouTube, but Instagram, And I was basically like, hey y'all, I don't necessarily know how to get my watch hour up, right? Let me show you my watch hours. So look where my watch hours at, right? At the time of this recording, check me out, check me out. So let me zoom in so y'all can see that. So let me go back. Where am I? Give me 1 second, y'all. I need to go back to my channel, to my studio, and show y'all this. Okay, so I want to show y'all my dashboard, and then I want to show y'all where I'm at watch hours wise, right? So I'm trying to get to 3 hours so you all can be able to give me like super chats and all that stuff when I go live. But I'm at 2,028 public watch hours, and that's of May 31st. So it has not calculated the watch hours from this video or any of that. So I'm gonna be able to benefit from that. So that's pretty cool, right? So anywho, I just wanted to share that with you because it's paying off, right? When you be consistent, it pays off. So can I tell y'all a little fun fact? I actually like pop-up content than being stuck to a schedule. Okay, I snitched on myself. So let me explain what I mean by that. I don't like saying, hey guys, meet me on YouTube every Wednesday, because there's a higher level of accountability. And like, I only want to be accountable to my lunches, right? If I say I'm going to do a lunch from this day to this time, I love knowing that commitment is cemented and we good to go. But me trying to keep these audio newsletters going out every single Monday and keeping these YouTube videos every Wednesday, it's been working your girl. So I'm like, I can't be as random as I would like to be now. I have to like actually stick to and do what I said I was gonna do. Okay. So anyway, there's that. All right. So let's get into how I plan to scale my marketing systems for 2024. All right. So now when I go over this, please tell me y'all ain't gonna get overwhelmed. Put promise in the chat. Okay, because one of the reasons why I was scared to do this live is because y'all quick to be like, oh my God, that's so overwhelming. What would I do? How would that work for me? Ha ha ha. Ooh, ooh, I don't know. It's too much. I'm overwhelmed. Like y'all be overwhelmed by everything. I be like, press 3 buttons. You be like, oh, which button? So I I be wanting to give y'all the sauce, but the way y'all overwhelm is set up, it be stressing me out. I be like, sis, it ain't that serious. Like, chill. So I just want to make sure we good before I jump into all this sauce. Okay, I want to make sure we Gucci before we jump into all the sauce. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all what your girl is cooking, but I need for y'all not to be overwhelmed. Okay, all right, so let's go. So we are going to divide our strategies into I want to say we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to divide this into 4 marketing systems. Okay, we're going to divide this into 4 marketing systems. That's what we're going to do. Now, the way we broke this into what is going to be our daily marketing system and what's going to be our weekly marketing system, and then what's going to be our quarterly, monthly, and annual. I kind of grouped that into one system, and then what's going to be our evergreen system. Okay, let me go over that again. What is going to be our daily system? What's going to be our weekly system? And then I took monthly, quarterly, and annually and combined them together. And then what's going to be our evergreen system? So let me know if that makes sense to y'all. All right. I need to make sure this heat ain't on, because you know your girl got on leather and it's getting a little cookie. It's getting a little hot up in this joint. So I'm trying to make sure the air is blowing so I don't get to sweating on this live stream. Okay. Okay. So again, the four sections: daily. Okay. Daily. Thank you, boo. Calvin Richmond is my husband, in case y'all didn't know. Same name, Audria Richmond, Calvin Richmond. Just say it. Just in case y'all didn't know. Weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually is 1. I put that into 1 bucket. And then evergreen. Okay. So let me first show you the evergreen and launch version together. Okay. All right. I told y'all don't get overwhelmed. So let me show you. All right, can y'all see this? Hopefully y'all can see that. Again, don't get overwhelmed, okay? I'm going to read it to you, okay? So the way I have this set up is our traffic strategies. So every single month, I want us to do a live launch and have evergreen webinars or evergreen masterclass running 365. Let me repeat that, okay? I'm gonna slow down because I'm getting excited. And when I get excited, I get lit. And when I get lit, I go to advance. So I'm slowing it down. Okay. Y'all see my slow it down face? I'm slowing it down. All right. So so we're gonna have a daily masterclass going. So that's our evergreen strategy. So we'll have an evergreen masterclass going 365. Okay. Then we are going to have a live lunch every single month. Do everybody got that? Okay. Just put yes in the chat if you got that. Because it's going to get more advanced as I carry on. Okay. So we're going to have one live lunch going on every single month. And we're going to have a evergreen masterclass running 365. Every single day, you will be able to go to an on-demand masterclass that will sell you a product or service. Okay? Got it? Cool. Okay? Now, how do we plan to get traffic for both of these strategies? All right? So, we got the audio newsletter. So, okay, I'm probably getting way too deep. I'm just going to have to tell it to y'all and y'all going to have to catch it or not. Because I feel like I'm trying to dumb it down too much, which is slowing my brain down. And it's hurting. My brain is hurting. Let me just tell you what we're doing. Okay? Let me keep it simple. So, for our traffic strategy, we have our audio newsletter that we do every single Monday, right? So inside of the platform that we use, we are able to put advertising on our audios. You probably heard an ad one time when we did a challenge. I think we did a lunch earlier this year. It was like a course creation it was a course ideation workshop. And we seeded an ad inside the audio newsletter. Have anybody ever heard any of our audio ads? Let me know in the chat. If you listen to our audio newsletter and you ever heard an ad, put yes in the chat. Okay? But anyway, we don't really use the strategy as much because we're trying to make sure that people are building up the habit of listening to it. And we don't want to start putting a bunch of ads in it yet. All right? So anyway, the tool that we use allows us to put ads in it and take ads away when it makes sense. So if this month I want to promote an upcoming launch, I can switch out the ad. If I have some evergreen ads, like, hey, I want this ad to play at the beginning of every audio newsletter, I can set that up with the tool. So it's kind of like us creating our own ad network, our own audio ad network on our audio newsletters. Okay. So we're doing our audio newsletter every single Monday. And with the audio newsletter every single Monday, we have the opportunity to put an advertisement inside of that audio newsletter. So just want to point that out. All right. The next thing, this YouTube channel. So we're going to start putting ads on our YouTubes, right? So let me see if I can find an old ad to demonstrate this point. Excuse me. Let me see if I can find an ad that'll bring us home. I'm not gonna play the full video, but this should give y'all let me find something real quick. The future of launching, no, Coach Week, annual planning workshop. Oh, we probably got some in there. Okay, so pretend like this is an ad. I'm finna play a video. I'm not gonna play it all the way through, but pretend like the video I'm about to show you is an ad. So we're gonna be able to play videos while I'm live that's going to serve as advertising. And the beauty in this is it's not just going to be our ads. We'll be able to put our client ads. People will be able to buy ad spots on our YouTube channel. So anyway, let me pretend like this is an ad, and I'll be right back.
Welcome. I'm so glad that you've made it. My name is Audria Richmond, and I am your visual branding stylist.
So uncloned means to challenge the norms and be the first to do it first. And a lot of the times people kind of get stuck at the challenge the norms piece. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't reinvent the wheel. I think we should reinvent the wheel. I think we should have. So I didn't let the video play because it has copyrighted music, and I don't want my video shut down. But nevertheless, if that was an ad, right? If that was an ad, I could play that, come back, and keep it moving, right? So imagine being able to have like all of these pre-recorded advertisements or pre-recorded promos that drive people to our evergreen efforts. So like our evergreen masterclasses, our evergreen workshops, so on and so forth. That's not even including the stuff that we're going to be doing live. Okay. Now, advertising. So we're going to be using advertising to grow, get people to come to our launches, social media marketing, partnerships. So integrating with different partners and things like that. So there you have it. Okay. Now, the way this is set up is I'm going to have a on-demand evergreen workshop, and then I'm going to have our launches. Okay. And then everybody is going to be going to two different experiences. So let me give an example. If somebody is going through an evergreen masterclass, they're going to be getting a different offer at the end than somebody who went to a live lunch where I'm selling the same thing. Let me give you an example. Let's say that we're doing let's say we're selling Publishing Like a Pro. Did y'all know I have a publishing program called Publishing Like a Pro? Okay. So we have a program called Publishing Like a Pro. It's $5,000. Okay. Now, let's say if I'm selling this program through a on-demand evergreen masterclass, it may have one or two bonuses. Okay. And people can buy it that way. However, if somebody come to let's say we're doing a workshop, a challenge. Let's say we bring back our What to Publish challenge. If we do our What to Publish challenge and people participate in that, at the conclusion of that, I might do a special pricing. So maybe maybe I might say, okay, if you get Publishing Like a Pro now, we'll take off this and add this. Or we might say, hey, if you join Publishing Like a Pro now, we're going to throw in an extra course or some extra bonus. But what we don't want to happen is each offer to compete with each other. Does that make sense, everybody? Just put yes in the chat. All right. I know I'm going a little advanced. Y'all might have to watch the replay. But the point I'm making is people would be able. So imagine me being live doing like a What to Publish challenge. And at the conclusion, I'm selling people into Publishing Like a Pro with these bonuses. But then on the flip side, somebody else around the world is in a evergreen masterclass while I'm live doing this launch, and they're learning about Publishing Like a Pro. They're just learning about Publishing Like a Pro differently, and they're able to enroll and buy the program. So imagine that's happening with every product that we have. I hope that makes sense. Now, we're only going to be doing one live launch a month, but imagine us having all of these evergreen masterclasses that sell our flagship products. So imagine having a evergreen masterclass that sell people into the launch circle, an evergreen masterclass that sell people into the offer system, the evergreen masterclass that sell people into the UnCloned Launch System, an evergreen masterclass that sell people into the content system and the opportunity hour system and Publishing Like a Pro and Mastermind and the UnCloned certification. Do y'all get where I'm going with this? Okay. So instead of me having to launch all the time, these master classes will be auto selling our products and services. And the way I looked at it was, if I can create one sales asset, like a masterclass, that's really good. If people go through it and they like it and they want to enroll and I sell them into it and they sign up, what you think that's gonna do for me if I'm hanging out with my husband and a sale come through because somebody watched the masterclass? And then later on that night, we get another sale because somebody's watching the masterclass. There's nobody on the planet There's nobody on the planet who can sell me, the UnCloned brand, or our products and services like me. Because sometimes people will try to scale up with a sales team, and they literally aren't able to um they're unable to scale up with a sales team, because guess what? The sales team don't give a shit about your brand. Like, they might read some scripts. You can give your sales team person some scripts, but they gonna read the scripts and it may not even be in alignment with how you want your thing to be sold. Can't nobody tell you, like, if I tell you this is why I created Publishing Like a Pro, can't nobody tell you that story like me, the person who actually created. Can't nobody tell you the why you should launch outside of me when I've done it almost 100 times. So, like, there's nobody, and this is something that this was a hard truth, but this is something that I had to realize. There's nobody on the planet who's going to sell me my products and services like me. And so the only way for me to scale that experience without doing one-on-one calls and without having to do these huge events all the time, why don't I automate me, the salesperson, to talk about my own product and service, and being able to create a systematic way to drive leads and sales every single day? Because even if somebody opt into a masterclass and they don't buy the product, guess what? They still on my email list. So it's not just about possibly getting sales every single day. It's also about being able to add 20, 30, 40, 50 people to my email list, maybe even 100 or 1,000, depending on our ad strategy, to our email list. Does this make sense? Just put yes or no. So imagine us being able to have this evergreen masterclass happening, and then we doing a lunch, right? And sometimes we might be doing a lunch for offers. Let's use this month as an example. Let's say we're doing a lunch this month for offers, right? Teaching people how to sell their products and services, how to create an offer to sell. Let's say I'm doing a live lunch of that, but in the background, we got this evergreen masterclass going that's selling people into another product or service. So it doesn't mean that because we will have these live lunches and these masterclasses that we'll be selling the same exact thing in the same month. I hope that makes sense. This would actually probably have to be a masterclass, like a mastermind session, in order for me to really take my time to break it down. But I'm giving you all more so the highlight version of this. Okay. So that's one strategy we plan to have. The other strategy is our daily strategy. What is a good daily strategy? Well, if you are familiar with what we talk about, and if you tapped into the content that we teach, we talk a lot about opportunity hour. And so opportunity hour allows you to 1 hour a day, you create and develop your own opportunities. And so opportunity hour works for digital and virtual opportunities, and it also works for offline opportunities. I have a strategy that's so fire. I wish I could tell y'all. Now this one I gotta truly like keep under the sleeve until it's like ready to pop out. But if this work how I think it's going to work, I think it's going to change the game for all entrepreneurs who want to have an offline experience without competing with the online market. So if this strategy go to plan how I think it is, I already told my mastermind about this. But if it goes to plan like I think it is, it will change the game for all entrepreneurs. I don't care what you sell. You could be selling physical products or digital products. So we are experimenting with it first in the mastermind, and then if it go to plan, then I can, turn it into something. All right. Is that give us a glimpse? Is this good? Do y'all like this? Do y'all like this type of content? Just put yes or no in the chat. Okay. Let me know in the chat if this is helpful. All right. Let me know in the chat if this is helpful. Also, if you have any questions, I'm going to answer it at the end. Also, if you have any questions, now is the time to go ahead and start putting them in the comments. All right. All right. What you say, babe? Okay, I'm gonna answer the questions when we get toward the end, but I'm just saying if you all have any questions, now is a good time to go ahead and put them in the comments. All right. Okay. So opportunity hour. Opportunity hour is our trademarked process where you spend 1 hour a day pitching people in 5 different categories. You do not have to pitch in all 5. You can choose from all 5. You could really get you could get a lot from your time if you did all 5, but you don't have to do all 5 every single day. So on Monday, you might decide I'm only going to focus on media. On Tuesday, you doing speaking and appearances. On Wednesday, you're doing community and activism. On Thursday, you're doing collaboration, partnerships, and sponsorships. And on Friday, you do business opportunities. But those are the 5 categories that we teach. And if you have the opportunity hour system, you should be very familiar with this process. All right. Cool. So that's our daily strategy. Opportunity hour. We can do content, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going all in on how can I say this? I'm not anti-content. I just find that I'm not gonna go on a rant, but I do find that some people waste too much time on content as opposed to developing marketing systems that can work for them 365. Does that make sense, everybody? Like I see that, excuse me, I see a lot of people spend a lot of time like trying to find trending audio and like trying to jump on trends and like do all of this stuff with social media when they could really just sit their ass down and create an evergreen marketing system that can work for them 365. And this is what I'll say. I'd rather see you have something working in the background on your behalf 365 before you go all in on trends. I don't want you wasting your time on trends when you don't even have a solid evergreen marketing system that could work for you. I see so many people waste so much time in Facebook groups because they don't want to run ads or like all of these different things just because. And it's not growing your business like you would like for it to. And I talked about this, I want to say in one of my YouTube videos recently, but I talked about like it's actually getting to the money is not hard, y'all. Like literally, if any of you all needed to make money today, you could literally make a post today that say, "Hey, I'm taking three people. I'm taking 3 people today for 30 minutes to get on the phone with me and tell me about your biggest challenge." And that person can tell you about their biggest challenge as it relates to whatever it is that you sell. You get on the phone with them, and if it makes sense, make them an offer. And you can literally put that in your thing. Like, hey, I'm looking to talk to 3 people. I got some free time today. I'm looking to talk to 3 people today that need help with XYZ. If you want to hop on a quick call today so I can help you break through some of the things you may have. And if it makes sense for us to move together, I'll make you an offer. But you literally could do that. But guess what? I don't want to get on the phone. I don't want to get on the phone. Some of y'all could hit the live button right after this live and let people know you got something to sell and tell them how to go buy it. But you know what? I don't like my hair. I ain't got no fancy lights, Audria, like you. I don't have no fancy background. I don't have no fancy mic. I don't have no fancy camera. Like, y'all, you have to get over yourself. I wish I could show y'all like my first video when I first got on Periscope. A mess. And I made a bunch of money when I looked a mess. So I know it works, okay? I just want y'all to stop wasting so much time on things that just don't move the needle. Like literally, it doesn't move the needle, but you're wasting your time with it. So anyway, that's our daily strategy. We're gonna do a little bit of content, but we're not gonna be like social media content, but we're not going to like spend a lot of time with that. I already have my content, if you will, for what I'm gonna be sharing on social. So like the YouTube video every Wednesday, and then having the audio newsletter that go out every single Monday. That's my community give back. Okay. But if you want to work with me, y'all gonna have to tap in. We got the launch circle, we got the mastermind. We're gonna be doing our cohort soon for the next certification round, so on and so forth, right? And then we have the mastermind. So I think I said that already, but the launch circle, the mastermind certification program, and then we have some courses that's already developed. We're just putting front ends on the front of them. Okay. All right. So for our monthly, quarterly, and annually, remember, we put these together. We are going to be doing launches. And so with these launches, these are going to be like challenges, webinars, boot camps, intensives, e-commerce sales events. It's so many cool things that we can do when we're doing a live launch. but every single month I want us to do a lunch. I don't know if they're going to always be super grand, but for the most part, I want to be able to do that. Now, every year I do want to get to the point where we're doing maybe like 2 or 3 major virtual conferences. I think that'll be a good move for us. We actually decided to wait on the UnCloned Launch Live. That doesn't mean we're not gonna do. We're still deciding on if we're gonna do it this year, or if it's going to look like that, or if we're going to be replaced with a more easier event. Right. So not easier for us, but easier for our students and our clients. All right. And then we already talked about the evergreen strategy, the weekly strategy. Let me take a sip of water. The weekly strategy is your authority content. So, me coming on here every Wednesday, my focus is authority, not a trend, not any of that. If you see me on a Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about something that drives my credibility and authority. I'm not going to be coming on here talking about random things. Like, hey guys, let me tell you about what's going on with politics. Hey guys, did you hear about what happened with that dude that just got found guilty? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not finna waste time talking about things that's misaligned with my brand, that's misaligned with my authority and credibility. So every single week, you get an opportunity with some piece of content. So for us, that's a weekly audio newsletter and these YouTube videos that builds our authority and credibility. So I'm gonna go over this one more time. So we got daily. Our daily strategy is opportunity hour and some social media content. Our weekly strategy is our authority content, which is could be a podcast or a video. For us, we're doing an audio newsletter every single Monday, and we're doing a YouTube video every Wednesday. And then for our monthly, quarterly, and annual strategy, we're doing live launches and events. That's the best way to sum it up. Live launches and events. And then for our evergreen strategy, we're doing automated webinars, workshops, and masterclasses. We also have a software that automates challenges. I'm gonna test that out. I don't know how I feel about an automated challenge, but we do have the technology to be able to do that. But that's essentially how we plan to scale up our marketing for 2024. So hopefully y'all found value in today and you got a lot of key takeaways. Hopefully I didn't go over your head too much. Let me know your biggest takeaway in the comments, and I'm gonna start answering questions. All right. So let me look at the first question. Maybe you answer this later, but does this also include VIP days during Coach Week, or do those at a separate time? Yes, that's a good question. If I have a VIP day or a one-on-one call, I typically try to book that also during Coach Week. So, like for instance, this week, and this will help you too, Ashley. This will help you too. So, like in the morning times, so Coach Week typically happens at 7 o'clock, except for Friday with the certification, which is new because that's the time that y'all agreed that works for y'all. Had y'all said 7 worked, then all calls would have been at 7. I'm actually glad that noon on Friday works for y'all because I typically like to have my Friday evenings free. So it ended up working out, right? That y'all like noon as opposed to 7, right? Now, if I had one-on-one calls or VIP days that I needed to book, I would, by the way I do my VIP days are typically from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. That's typically when I do a VIP day. Guess what? That time block does not interfere with a coaching call that happens at 7 o'clock. Right? Does that make sense? So, and we can also do one-on-one calls from 10 o'clock to 4 or 5, and then we got an hour or so break, and then boom, we back into our group Q&A calls for the mastermind, the lunch circle. So hopefully that makes sense. But during that week, you should have a lot of time to still do like one-on-one calls, VIP days. I've even done in-person VIP days during Coach Week because they typically happen in the morning, and then we have the evening available for our clients. All right. So hopefully that answered your question. Do we have any more questions? Okay, my biggest takeaway was you saying just start making offers and getting on the phone. Absolutely. Because you might find that like Some of y'all might be like, oh, I don't know what to sell. Get on the phone. They'll tell you. Help make up something. You will know when you get on the phone. You will know. You know what? I actually had a course on this, but this person need 3 calls with me, so we can break down this, this, and this. Put together a package. As long as you have a way to invoice them, not Cash App, but not Vimeo. Like literally, you need not Venmo. But if you have a way to invoice people, just go ahead and invoice them. Right? Okay. Let's see. Dang, I needed this. Okay, cool. Getting on the phone. Yes. Thank you for the push. I'm motivated to do something. Yes. My biggest takeaway was just start making. Okay, I answered that one. I said that already. Okay, cool. Do y'all have any more questions? If so, we're going to end the live. I really do appreciate y'all for coming to these videos every Wednesday and tapping in. I have such a breeze and a great time when I do these. All right. So let's see. Biggest takeaway was to stop focusing on things that don't move the needle and be intentional about creating a system that leverages your time efficiently. Yes, because what you don't want to happen is you're so caught up in doing random stuff that don't move the needle that if you get sick or if something happens to you, you have no leverage. And sometimes leverage is not about leveraging a bad situation. Sometimes it's about leveraging a good situation, like a vacation. If you want to go on vacation for a week or two, imagine being able to say, it's cool because I got my workshops working in the background. Somebody watching my workshop right now while I'm on a plane. Somebody watching my workshop right now while I am driving on doing my road trip. Somebody's watching my workshop right now while I'm in a meeting closing another deal. Somebody's watching my workshop, my evergreen workshop right now because I'm doing, I'm about to go be on the beach for the next 2 weeks. So what I'm talking about is leverage, right? Which for some reason we don't really talk about in our community. We are so used to working ourselves to the bone that any form of leverage is kind of like, should I do it? I'm probably like, don't look at it like that. Like, look at how the best way to look at it is like, at least what have helped me is like, how can I multiply myself? How can I be everywhere at the same time? How can I be everywhere at the same time? Okay, whether it's live or automated, right? And fall in love with automation. Fall in love with pre-record, right? I think a lot of people think that if it's not live, it's ineffective. What the hell you think YouTube is? Think about it. YouTube is probably the best example of pre-recorded videos that I can think of right now. So when people be like, oh, it got to be live, pre-record don't work. When people give y'all them little portals, it don't work. I call BS because YouTube is the perfect example of people killing it with pre-recorded content. There's no other platform in the world like YouTube that doesn't create leverage. Think about all the people who got 10, 15, 100, 200 videos that you can watch on demand. You can binge at your leisure and tap in. The only difference is what I'm saying today is take a couple of these videos, optimize them for sales, and have it run 365 for you. That's what I'm saying. So hopefully y'all get it. All right. Let's see. Takeaway was create your flagship and level up your systems around it. Yes. Biggest takeaway was to okay, I answered that one already. Okay, cool. All right. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in to this YouTube video. Make sure you share it with someone who could benefit from it. And I appreciate y'all for showing up to this live stream. And until next time, y'all, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Let me see if y'all know. What we going to do? We're going to go live an uncloned life and build an uncloned brand.